Hi, Sag. Welcome to your reading for May. I hope you're doing really well. We're doing all of them live for May for whatever reason. Sag, let's talk some astrology before we get into the reading. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. What are you doing, Sag? How have you not smashed that subscribe button already? I trust you lot have. You lot aren't. You're not like that. The thing with these lives is, this is the reason why I don't do lives, because they turn into something else. They're never like just what they're supposed to be. They turn into something completely different. Sag, let's talk some astrology, shall we? Okay, so the 2nd of May, Venus enters the sign of Aries, and Venus in a fire sign, I'm sure you can imagine, it's like setting a little fire up your backside. You want to get stuff done. You want to make a lot of money. You want to be that bitch, right? You want to travel. You want the niceties. You want the finest. And you know what? You have had this process this year to show you just how much you deserve it. And I think you're accepting absolutely nothing less. You could care less what anybody else thinks, what anybody else wants. You know what you want. You want to go and get it. On the 10th, Mercury retrograde begins in the sign of Gemini. Oh my God. Now you can surely imagine in the sign of Gemini, it's half truths. It's misinformation. It's miscommunication. It's all the jumble of facts that you absolutely don't need. Be very careful not to get taken down a trail of nonsense with this retrograde. And I think what's really good about this retrograde is that I think, if anything, things will start moving quickly again. Even though Mercury is in retrograde, you will notice that it's really progressive. There's a lot happening. There's a lot going on. Jupiter enters the sign of Aries, and this is the transit to make all of the monies. Sagittarius. This is that transit where a lot of things that were held up are pushing forward, and it's moving forward really quickly. And so what I say to you is that when Jupiter does enter Aries, you're going to want to travel. You're going to want to move. You're going to want to really get in touch with your natural instinct. On the 15th is a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio, and this is sex, this is death, this is rebirth, this is secrets, this is saucy secrets, right? And there's a part of you that you just cannot keep hidden anymore, Sagittarius. And I think you've just been holding yourself back for the longest time, and now it's no holds barred, right? If you can handle the energy, fantastic. If you can't, get out the kitchen. I think that's your motto for the most part of May. But with this full moon lunar eclipse, there's a side of you that's wanting to break out of the darkness. Whatever darkness you've been in, whatever like a little pigeonhole you'd been put into, you don't care for it anymore. And this is about you really seeing through a lot of your own traumas, okay, and where you may have possibly held yourself back. And this is now aligning with very much the truth of you. This is very much aligning with what it is you have to say, those things that you felt like you had to keep hidden, but you can't anymore. Okay, so expect a lot of secrets to be revealed about a lot of people around you, but expect yourself to really be very open about what it is you want in a very unashamedly kind of way. Unashamedly kind of way. Is that a word? The sun moves into sign Gemini, and it's there with the sign Mercury. Sorry, it's there with Mercury, both in the sign of Gemini, Mercury in retrograde, sun obviously not in retrograde. But I want you to see this as where it is that you can really iron out things that have been going on in your mind in relation to your communication, where you may have not been communicating as effectively because of whatever reason. This now, Mercury retrograde in the sign of Taurus, is you thinking about what it is you can do to really make some solid future plans, okay? Sturdy, reliable, stable future plans. I think with the sun in Gemini, you're going to really want to move. You're going to want to be a mover and shaker.
On the 22nd, Mercury retrograde goes into the sign of Taurus, and with the Sun in Gemini, and now Mercury retrograde in Taurus. Again, this is about you laying out future plans. This is about making the long-term plans. This could even be laying brickwork, laying foundations. Okay, on the 24th, Mars goes home. It's entering the sign of Aries. It loves being there. This is where you get this push forward, and it's like, go. Absolutely go, Sagittarius. Wanderlust is the theme here. It's about what you really want to do. Do it. Don't hold yourself back for nothing. Don't hold yourself back for no one. You're getting, it's like having ants in your pants. You're going to want to travel. You're going to want to see new things. You're going to want to explore new things. And I say, don't deprive yourself. Go for it. Go for all of it. Do all of it, Sagittarius. Take a deep breath in for me. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. If you would be interested in booking a reading, you can do so on the website rubyreadstarot.com. Tarot is a really, really accurate way of picking up the energies around you, seeing what it is that may have been hidden in the subconscious and what you can bring to light. It's a nice way to piece together a picture of what's really going on with your energy. So if you're tempted to book a reading, I would strongly suggest it. All right, Sagittarius, let's get into the month of May for the sign of Sagittarius for May 2022. In my lap is the 3 cards. I'll take those. And I'm glad I did. That's the Lovers. That's the 8 of Swords. And that's the Tower card. Sag, where is it that you may have been reluctant to pursue relationships or reluctant to pursue love? Gemini energy here. Where is it that you've been holding yourself back? In May, there's the prospect of meeting the love of your life. In May, there is a prospect of the two becomes one. Partnerships, pairings, love relationships, all sorts of relationships, even the relationship that you have with yourself becomes in sync and becomes in unison. Sagittarius, there's a real need for you to get out of your head, especially when it comes to love. The Tower card means it could be a breakup. This could be a relationship with a Gemini that's left you really paranoid and just not feeling very good about yourself, sort of backed into a corner. Do you know what I mean? And so Sagittarius, I think when this Tower comes down, when this convention that was built on a false construct comes down, you'll be relieved to know that you can now finally move in the direction that you want. More often than not, when we are with the wrong person, they can really back us into a corner of hell. And more often than not, when we ourselves have backed ourselves into a corner, like a prison of our own making, these towers are very necessary. And sometimes the arrival of a soulmate, a twin flame, a divine counterpart can really help push us out of a prison of our own making. You decide which side of that fence you're on. Okay, some of you might be breaking up with people that you know are not the right fit for you, and it means that when Mars goes into Aries, there's this level of authority about you. Okay, and I think there are also messages that come forward, especially in regards to where it is that you've been quite fixed and quite stuck, especially when it comes to finances. Capricorn energy here. Capricorn loves to attain. And sometimes it does get a bit of a fixed focus, which can leave it stagnating in status quo that is very much fixed on when's the money going to come from? When is it coming? Where is it coming from? And that's so exhausting. It can be absolutely exhausting. And so you're being advised in the month of May to be very authoritative with your energy. And you're being asked to go in pursuit. Go in pursuit. Go pursue it, Sagittarius, whatever this thing is for you. Coming out of something that's been quite fixed and rigid, that may have even had an energetic effect on you, meaning that you may have felt a bit bound or stuck in situations that, okay, more cards in my lap. Let's go for those. Six of Pentacles and Three of Wands. It's about establishing some sort of equilibrium with your give and take. And I do feel like a lot of you have been depleted from giving a bit too much. And I think you will really understand how important it is to respect your energy levels. And when I say put those boundaries up, be really firm about it. Because you can either remain fixed and rigid in this place of like financial, like kind of real, or you can try and put your boundaries in such a way that the give and take is balanced. Okay, and I do feel like there needs to be more of a balancing out of a give and take. You need to kind of keep some resources for yourself, and so I do say it's a good time. Another one in my lap, and that's the Magician card. Things are going to be falling into your lap, and that's the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. Things will be falling into your lap this month. Okay, and there is an element of you knowing better. There's an element of you really tapping into some higher levels of consciousness and higher levels of awareness. But I do feel like you're kind of in a place where you know that there is a spiritual evolution that's taking place within you, where you're really being able to hone in on a skill set and advance on it. Okay, so where you have this desire to go in pursuit of, to go and find the excitement, know that if you are taking your energy and taking yourself a lot more seriously than you've been allowing yourself credit for in a really long time, you're going to see that a lot of scales balance out for you, Sagittarius. The Lover's energy is a pairing. It's a cooperative. It's people bringing what their thing is to the table. Okay, where is it that you can bring your skills, your love, your talent to the table and know that it's reciprocated without you being depleted by a narcissist or someone who's gaslighting you, who's robbing you of your confidence? The tower's coming down on that, and I don't think that you can actually like avoid it anymore, because if it's taken from you and if it's backed you into an energetic corner where you know that this is not it. And I have a feeling that this is a lot to do with like just not being in the mood for like the noise or the silly opinions or, you know, just silly things that trigger you. I don't feel like you're in the mood or any of it, because I feel like energetically you've been feeling depleted. And it's because of external things. It's where you've been given too much. It's where you've had to give too much. And so there's a very important message here, Sagittarius. Partnerships are good when they're reciprocal. And so look for the pattern here. If you've been feeling depleted, if you've been feeling like you've been cheated out of your fair share, or that you've been given too much, or that you've had to do too much, the tower's going to crumble on that. Because I don't feel like you want to hear the noise anymore. And this is other people's silly opinions, other people's bad behavior. The tower's crumbling on it. And when you're brave enough to accept that things that come down often happen for a reason, it's more often than not so that the blessings that you've worked for can come in. And so you might be jumping on a ship and just going sailing towards the sunset. Either way, I think you know with the Page of Wands and the Emperor energy is that you've got to make boss moves at this point. And it's not about you staying fixed, rigid, or small. Expansion. And that's your thing. As above, so below. You can do it if you set your mind to it, Sagittarius. You've got all the resources that you need. All the tricks are up your sleeve. You know what I mean? You create this infinity. And so you decide which direction you're steering that ship in, being the Emperor, completely authoritative about this move to uphold and maintain those boundaries, to find some silence if that's what you need. 2, be able to receive your wins and the yields that they bear. It's about you figuring this one out. It comes from you, Sagittarius. It doesn't come from anyone else. And the thing here is when you decide that I'm not staying stuck because it's keeping me small, and the smaller I stay in a fixed sign, a fixed earth sign, the more suffocating that will feel for you. So I tell you, grab the reins, Sagittarius, go on that adventure. If anyone can make it happen, it can be you. If this is in regards to your business, you've got to think a lot bigger. You've got to think way bigger than you've been thinking, Sagittarius. The scales being balanced is you respecting your and honoring your skill, your trade, your whatever it is that you're doing. And there is a massive need for you to pour more respect into yourself right now, because it is that self-confidence of the magician, of the high priestess, who is deliberately making magics, who is deliberately and consciously, every single action, every single thought, every single thing is a conscious decision here with these cards, with this kind of energy. So you're now being put in a seat of authority, which is working not only with the material realm, but the ethers also, to make right situations that had depleted you. And it comes down to an equal give and take. It comes down to you pulling yourself away from the noise. It comes down to you moving on from a situation where you may have been kept fixed. You may have been kept small, and that has depleted you. And so do yourself a favor right now, Sagittarius. And when these towers crumble, know that it is for your good. Know that it is for you to break out of a lack mindset, or where you may have limited yourself, where you know that if you go now, if you just make the move, if you make those boss moves, that your inside, your subconscious is screaming to you, hey, you know what? I can level up all the way bigger than this. I could go 5 steps ahead. I could go 10 levels ahead. If you're on your own side, if you're willing to break free of some of these very fixed beliefs that have had Sagittarius, mutable fire, you are the dancing fire. Fixed earth is suffocating if you're not allowed to be in your individual expression. And that is an expression of truth. It is an expression of who you are now. And so when I say to you, go make the moves, go, 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 expect the yields to come in once you let go of everything that you're holding on so tightly to. Conventions changing, could be breakups, could be finishing of leases, could be things that you've known changing up, but it's all in your higher and best interest. And so when I say, Sagittarius, you've got enough resources, you've got enough tricks up your sleeve, and you know exactly what you're doing, High Priestess, the Magician card, to make these boss moves. Go find the place where the energy feels right. Go find the place where you are respected and honored for the equal give and take. Go find the place that is forcing you now out of any fixed mind frames, fixed ways of thinking. Concept, self-concept is a big one here. And I feel like you need your confidence back. And I feel like you get an opportunity to have a lot of fun in May. And it comes down to you being a lot more authoritative, you being really trusting of your intuition, and you really being confident about your skill set and your abilities. These 3 things, if you can master them, I feel like relationships that come through for you kind of help you from places where you self-sabotage yourself. If you're enjoying the reading, do give it a thumbs up, Sagittarius. If you'd like to take this reading further, you can book a reading at rubyreadstarot.com. The description box will have all the details there. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed your May reading, my loves. Have a good one. Bye.